Hey everybody, it's Kathy Boyle, President of Chapin Hill Advisors. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the cost of compliance and the new abnormal we're facing. So as the country begins to open up, we're facing more and more issues, right? Texas, Florida, shutting down the bars again. California may shut the state down. Hospitals are being besieged again with the number of new cases. We're testing more people, so that's adding to the number of cases. Arizona's possibly having issues. So we're facing a lot more anxiety. So a lot of people after being cooped up for 3 months, and the news is constant, people dying, more cases. Many people have experienced loss within their circle, whether it's their mom or best friend or best friend's father or mother. So a lot of people have experienced loss that they never ever imagined. And then there's the stress of working at home, having 2 people working, Zoom calls like crazy, and then homeschooling children. And so it's been crazy. The things that you never would have put up with, all of a sudden you're dealing with on a regular basis. And then people are cooking more at home. I've got people with 3 adult children at home, eating them at a house and home. They're like, help, how many times do I go to the grocery store? And going to the grocery store is a challenge. Stand in line outside, only how many people in at once. Feel like you can't touch anything. You want to wash your hands as soon as you get back in the car. So it produced a lot of anxiety. So a couple things you have to think about. If you are dealing with the public in any way, shape, or form, you have to remember there's a lot of anxiety. We have story after story of meltdowns of people online at Trader Joe's and not wearing their gowns, not wearing their masks. We have another woman that just chucked everything out of her shopping cart because somebody asked her to put a mask on. So people feel very, very on edge. So you have to think about your first front line. Who are your employees? How are they being treated? How are they treating others? The other day I went to the local wine store and I just wanted a box of wine and just knew what I wanted to get. And it's a place I go to regularly. It's right next door to Trader Joe's. And as I entered the store, I was accosted. The manager just came up to me, almost put his hand in my face and said, that's it. We have 20 people in the store. Didn't look like 20 people in the store. Where's the sign that says 20 people? So he made me step back out. I'm standing right outside the electronic door, so they're staying open. And then one of the girls at the register reached out to me and said, do you know what you want? I said, yes, I do. I pointed to it and she said, okay, go outside. So outside there was only a check-in for credit card and I had planned on using cash. It was a small purchase and that's just how I roll. And none of the employees were wearing masks. It wasn't a pleasant experience. She went ahead and took my cash, but it was reluctantly. She pointed to a sign on the window that I should have seen, I guess, but it was on the other side of the door and it wasn't where I would see it when I was going in. So these are just little tiny examples of things that you have to think about. There's 8 million wine stores. I can go right down the street to another one. I can go to a different town as I'm shopping at Costco or some of the other stores. There's 1 million wine stores. So if I get wine on a regular basis, I don't have to frequent your wine store. So you have to think about this. You also have to think about it when you're answering the phone with your employees, whether or not your phone system is going straight through. Is it going to voicemail? Does somebody call you back? When did they call you back? So you really have to think about your customer service 10 times more than you did before. The other thing that a lot of people are not recognizing is the cost of compliance. So I've gotten into selling PPE. So if anybody needs PPE, I've been sourcing it like crazy, which is fun because I'm meeting all kinds of business owners and a lot of people like me have gotten into this. I am a deal chick, so I do a lot of deals and I have a big network of people with great deals and great opportunities. So many people have seen this as an opportunity. So we have one hedge fund group who jumped in and financed a huge shipment of gloves. So gloves are hard to get. They're made only in Malaysia and Thailand and Indonesia. And it's rubber, and the cost of rubber is going up as the supply continues to get diminished because we've used so many gloves. Horrible, horrible cost to our environment. All this plastic, people changing gloves regularly, masks regularly, throwing them out. So the cost to the world is huge. The cost to your bottom line is also huge. So if you're a plumbing contracting company, we have one with pending as a client with 300 plumbers. So if they go to 4 different houses a day, which they probably go to more, but let's just say 4, that's 1,200 masks a day. Times 5 is 6,000 a week. It's 24,000 masks you're buying for your employees every month. So a 6-month supply is basically 150,000 masks. So what are you paying per mask? When we do small amounts of masks, the price goes way up. Instead of $1.95, it's $5. $5.95. So there's a lot of fraud within this, there's a lot of room, there's a lot of people that are brokers in between, so the cost gets marked up each time. So it's been fascinating to see this and learn this, but there's also a big cost to compliance. So if you're a hospital, doctor's office, medical office, a pet store, any place where you're dealing with the public, you're going to have masks available for your employees, gloves, sanitizers, all kinds of things, and that adds cost. So one of the things you want to do is really sit down and look at your numbers, whether it's your bookkeeper and you give him or her direction, or use a fractional CFO on a project basis for this, or reach out to your CPA. I find a lot of my CPAs are really overwhelmed right now. So I think what you want to do is really sit down and retool your numbers. And then you have to also think about your investments, because this is a cost of compliance across the world. And so all of the big companies, whether it's a Visa, travel agency, if they get back and running, to the local accounting firm, to any investment that you make, there's a cost to compliance in the company. So that's going to affect the bottom line. So the multiples are very high right now. And so you have to really, really think about whether you want to own what you own in terms of equities. So feel free to reach out to us. Kathy Boyle, chapinhill.com, kboyle@chapinhill.com is my email. I'm always happy to talk on the phone, do a complimentary conversation about what you're doing, what you might need to do, what you want to think about. And we have this huge circle of other experts, so we can introduce you to almost anybody you need. So have a wonderful day. Think about the outward facing of your employees and customer service first, and think about the cost of PPE.